Good evening. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and it's currently, we have just a few minutes before 7 o'clock on Tuesday, July 14th. And I want to touch base on today's daily recap of events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. Now, the question for today is, are you busy collecting the crumbs, or are you actually looking for your cake? I'll get to that in just a few minutes. Now, we start every day again. Since I started doing this back in March, early March, mid-March, somewhere in there, with the number of COVID cases, because that's the biggest thing that's happening right now that affects most everybody at this point. And right now, the current number of COVID cases is 3,407,000. That's up another 61,000 since yesterday. Of the total number of COVID cases, about 30% have actually recovered. 4.05% of all people who contracted COVID have actually died. 4.05%. The total deaths right now are at 136,232. So that's a pretty big number. 685 people have died since yesterday when we spoke last. Now, New York still has the number 2 spot, or actually the number 1 spot, I'm sorry, in the U.S. with right now 402,000 cases. They're up just under 2,000 cases since yesterday. Where their death situation a little bit different. Their deaths right now are at 32,400. They've picked up another 18 people who've died overnight since we spoke yesterday. Now, California has the number 2 spot, the highest number of cases. That happened almost two and a half weeks ago, thereabouts. They moved up there. Their current number of cases is 336,500 cases. They picked up another 10,000 cases overnight. Their current deaths right now are at 7,117. So an extra 64 people have actually died in California since yesterday. Florida's got the number 3 spot. They are not having a good time at all, by a lot. Okay, things are just off the wall in Florida with their numbers and the activity in the hospitals. Their ICU beds and their ventilator usage is up basically 100% in the last week or two. Now, Florida's at number 3 spot. Texas got the number 4 spot. New Jersey's at number 5. Illinois is at number 6. Arizona, also not a good spot right now. They're number 7. Georgia's at number 8. Massachusetts is at number 9. And Pennsylvania has been at number 10 for almost 2 weeks now. Now, there's absolutely no question that COVID and the economy are the 2 biggest and most all-encompassing topics here in the U.S. I mean, it's really hard to separate the 2 from any discussion. And when you have the discussion, it's hard to separate either one of them from the other. Now, on the COVID side, okay, it was just reported that roughly 1 in 5 new cases of coronavirus reported around the world came from just 3 states: Florida, Texas, and California. NBC has calculated those numbers as of earlier today. Now, right now, 27,000 cases have been recorded in those states on Monday, and they accounted for basically just under 19% of the total global number of cases. And that represented more than a third of the cases reported in the U.S. Meanwhile, okay, 2-week death toll in Texas was up 99% over the previous 2 weeks. Florida had 2-week death total rose by nearly 84%, and in California it jumped by 27%. Now, as of Tuesday morning, okay, there were 3,386,000 confirmed cases in the U.S., and the death toll was at 136. That was earlier today. Overall, 41 states have seen an increase in their cases over the last 2 weeks. 8 of those states have seen a spike more than 100% over the last 14 days. Now, on the economy and the money side of things, today, senior Trump administration officials have really begun signaling their willingness to approve a narrow extension of the extended enhanced unemployment benefits that are really helping tens of millions of jobless people right now that have been hurt by the pandemic. Now, in less than 2 weeks, the federal program that has been providing $600 per week in increased benefits to the existing state unemployment numbers will actually expire. Now, many economists have warned that the disappearance of that enormous federal stimulus created back in March could really hinder economic recovery and deprive millions of Americans of a vital financial lifeline. Now, more than 30 million people are already collecting what many recipients say is a crucial pillar of their financial support right now. When asked about losing unemployment benefits, Erin Walker, she's 48. She was furloughed from her job as a dining manager at a college campus near Somerville, South Carolina, at the end of April. And she said, "We basically have to choose between paying our bills and eating. I honestly hope I don't know what I'll do." So it's hitting people pretty hard. People actually rely on that money. Now, Mitch McConnell, back on June 30th, said that the added unemployment benefits set to expire in July were a mistake. Now, for months, President Trump and the White House officials have argued that the $600 per week unemployment bonus provides a disincentive to work and really should be scrapped so that more Americans return to work as part of the economic recovery. But with the benefits set soon to expire and the economy showing signs of continued strain and weakness, the Trump administration have really begun to open the door to accepting a narrower version of what Congress had previously approved. Now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin on CNBC last week said the administration's priority was ensuring that future benefits amount to no more than 100% of a worker's prior wages. Now, Mnuchin's comments really surprised a lot of congressional Republicans who thought that he shared their strong opposition to extending the benefits at all. And that was according to two people who spoke on the condition of anonymity. And that's the only way to get people to talk nowadays. They don't know when they're going to get a tweet storm lunged at them. Now, Larry Kudlow was the president's and still is the president's top economic advisor. He told Fox Business on Monday that the administration is seeking some unemployment reforms. Kudlow has said in previous weeks, more aggressively though, he bashed the $600 per week increase. Kudlow also pushed a return to work bonus that would supplement reduction in unemployment benefits. The idea has been viewed as administratively difficult, if not impossible, to actually implement, and its path to passage is really unclear, according to the three lobbyists in the congressional age that are actually aware of the internal conversations that were going on with that. Now, one political compromise discussed by Republican lawmakers would involve cutting the unemployment benefit from $600 a week to between $200 and $400 a week, and making up at least part of the difference by sending another round of $1,200 stimulus checks. That's at least what these folks had to say. You never know until it's actually done what they're going to end up doing. Now, on Monday, Mitch McConnell says the next package would include unemployment insurance for those unable to get back to work, though he really didn't identify what the actual number was going to be, how much it was actually going to be. Now, compounding the effect of this potential economic disaster, that the labor market is showing signs right now of severe stress. And you see it in the job numbers every week. Right now, more than 1 million Americans continue to apply for jobless benefits every week. And the rising coronavirus cases across the country threatens to really prompt a new wave of shutdowns. Right now, there's still 1.6 million fewer job openings than there were in February, although they rose just a little bit in May. And they raised the question about many Americans could actually return to work or not. Well, the June numbers showed the United States had recovered about a third of the jobs it lost, during the economic crisis, with the corona crisis. However, but the economy really appeared to have worsened in the last few weeks, and the signs of it actually improving just really are dwindling away. Unemployment benefits help stabilize the economy through really turbulent unemployment rate rose to almost 15% in April before falling back to 11% in June. Americans made $70 billion less in wages and salaries in May compared with February, reflecting the lost jobs and the cuts to hours and wages. Emergency unemployment benefits filled a lot of that gap, funneling $70 billion per month back into the economy. Now, in late June, more businesses also reported that they really expect the economy not to recover for at least 6 months. And by the end of the month, 53% of U.S. small businesses reported that the economy would take longer than 6 months to actually recover, if it recovered at all. Now, Goldman Sachs lowered its estimates for the economy's third quarter recovery and predicted the economy would actually shrink more in 2020 than it had really previously estimated. Even with all the stock market, even all that, the stock market was up for 3 days in a row right now, and it closed at just over 26.6 today. That really further demonstrates the major divergence from Wall Street and Main Street. They're in two different places, two absolutely different places. This isn't helping, and no matter what happens, the stock market is not going to stabilize until this COVID situation gets under control. It's up today on hints, just hints, that there could be a vaccine coming up shortly. And that's fine for certain sectors, but a lot of people are still out of work. Businesses are going to go bankrupt. Businesses are going bankrupt right now. Now, there's also a lot of talk this week about getting kids physically back to school. Now, Trump sees it as a way to get parents back to work because they wouldn't be at home watching the kids. It makes sense. But parents and teachers both see a physical classroom experience really not likely in any way, shape, or form for classes to restart. Now, that view is really shared by a lot of local school districts, straight up to and including the Ivy League schools and universities. They just don't see that happening. And more schools and universities, from grade schools on, are saying they're going to be opening with cyber learning in some way, shape, or form. They're not going to have 20, 30, 40 kids in a classroom. It's just not going to happen. Now, that really brings me to the question of the day. Okay. Are you really busy collecting the crumbs, or are you looking for your cake? It took over 200,000 years of human history for the world's population to reach 1 billion. And in only 200 years, just another 200 years over above that, to reach more than the current 7.8 billion people. There's 333 million people right here in the US. And you're one of them. And I've always advocated getting that 30,000 foot view to give you some perspective on things. It's important to see where you fit in with the world and the rest of society in general. It helps to keep the ego in check, and it allows for some self-reflection, which is a really novel thing. Now, it does two other things too, though, both of which are actually internal. One, it lets you see where everyone else fits in and how lives dovetail into one another, and when they don't. And two, getting that kind of perspective, it allows you to see what's really important to you on a larger basis. And when you do that, the little petty things and the petty people seem to drop out of importance pretty quickly. And it's amazing the amount of focus and clarity that come into your life almost immediately when you do that. Now, the problem is it's really difficult to do it when you're just scurrying around with all the rest of the ants looking for the crumbs. Most people maybe do this once or twice in their lifetime if they're lucky, which is why there's really so much conflict and divisiveness. Every day that you get out of bed, you turn the news on, turn a paper on, drive to work. There's crazies all over the place. This is why. When you don't do this, okay, you only focus on getting the crumbs. And you're always worried about the other ants getting your crumbs. Again, if you don't do that overview, you're just busy every day doing all those little things that everybody else is doing. You're trying to get your crumbs, and you're worried that somebody else is going to try and get your crumbs too. Which is why people are so ugly nowadays. Now, it's really just not your fault. It really isn't. It's just that it's the only thing that you might know. Now, when you step away from the rest of the crowd, though, when you step away from the rest of the crowd of ants, it allows you to see that more really exists in life. When you do that, you realize that more exists in life than just fighting the rest of the ants for the crumbs. It allows you to focus on finding the actual cake. Take some time with your mind. Spend some time with your mind. Amazing things will actually happen. The more often you do it, the better you get at it. Outside of finding a purpose in your life, you'll have a calm and a certainty that will be absolutely unshakable as events occur around you, as they always do. Remember what Frank Sinatra sang once? Okay, that's life. It is, and things just happen. They will continue to happen. I'm not saying that self-reflection is going to make you great. Self-reflection doesn't make the problems go away. Self-reflection with that 30,000-foot view of life gives you a chance to see where the problems fit in and makes it easier to solve them. Now, when you do this, when you consistently get that 30,000-foot view, it'll be much, much easier for you to find the cake that you may not have ever really thought it existed at all. Now, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse. I'm the Real Money Doctor. My only goal is to help you to get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. I'd like to help you get control of your life. I'd like to help you get control of your money and show you how to find and get your cake. And I can show you how to retire in the next 3 to 5 years with the cash flow that you'll need to maintain the lifestyle that you actually want and deserve without ever having to worry about a job or money again, so you can actually enjoy your cake. Go to my site, drrousenow.com. Take a peek. There's a 12-minute video there. Okay. Take a peek at it. Let me know what you think. Schedule a call. You can't buy anything on the call. You can't buy anything from the site. It won't bite you. That 12-minute video represents what took me 10 years and over $350,000 to find out how to do. And it might help you. So go to the site, drrousenow.com. Take a peek and let me know. Again, I appreciate spending some time with you tonight, and I look forward to spending some more time with you tomorrow around 7 o'clock. Thank you.